Heyo, it's the Storyteller here. Yes, my voice is deeper and more very calm and quieter than the previous audio that I had. This story is about Shoto Todoroki, ex gender neutral listener, and that story is by Domo again because we love them. Enough yapping, let's just dive into the My Hero Academia world. Ever since your quirk appeared at the young age of 4, everyone was scared of you. Everyone always thought that you were the reincarnation of evil, and that you were going to be nothing but a villain. Including your own parents, who always conducted experiments on you to try and fix you. It hurt your feelings a lot, and you always ended up crying and upset. You always wanted to hide away from the world, and your confidence was shot. It became harder and harder every day to ignore the remarks, the fearful looks from both adults and children alike, and the fact that your parents didn't accept you for you. It was tough. You didn't have any friends growing up, and the bullying just got worse in middle school. When they tried to get physical, you cut that out, threatening them by using your quirk. Did you get in trouble? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. Sort of. Did the snide remarks ever stop? No. However, you no longer had someone physically get in the way of your dreams. You were going to be a hero, out of spite of everyone who told you that you couldn't. Out of a whim, you applied for UA and participated in the entrance exam. You saw a lot of talented students, and whoever that green-haired kid was, if the two of you got in, you hoped he was in your class. He seemed really friendly. Fast forward to the future, you did get into UA, and you were the only one from your middle school who did. I am proud to admit that we have a student amongst us going to Japan's most prestigious heroics school. A murmur broke out as you stared at the window, wanting everything to be over with already. It was making you nervous.
What do you think it is?
Your bullies were talking about it.
It must have been Ryukun.
Yeah, he's the youngest one of all of us, and is the only one who could possibly get in. Their poor hearts. They were going to flip when the teacher announced it was you. This nerd got into the heroics department of UA. It was a pin drop for a total of 30 seconds before the shit hit the fan. It was a loud uproar of all students attacking you, of how a villain, who can't even control their quirk fully, got into the heroics department. You ended up missing the rest of the classes that day and left to go back home. For today's lesson, we are not learning anything in the classroom, so suit up and meet me at the ground beta. You were snapped out of your musings by the dismissal as you gathered your things and walked out of the classroom with everyone else. This is so exciting. What do you think Aizawa-sensei is going to have us do? You were curious as well. Hopefully nothing too strenuous since you still didn't have total control of your quirk. Now that would be disastrous. What else is it going to do besides have us spar shitty air? You rolled your eyes. A typical Bakugo response. Obviously, he was going to have a strain, but there is a reason why he's going to have us do what he wants the class to do. You were joined by Ochako, Izuku, and Shoto, who were brainstorming as well. You glanced over Shoto, sharing a secret smile with him, which he returned. No one in the class really knew that the two of you were dating, besides his closest friends, which were also your friends. The two of you weren't entirely ready for everyone to know, since the two of you were still taking it slow. He had a lot of emotional baggage, and so did you. So there was still a lot of unpacking that still needed to be done. One step at a time, that's all you can really say. I heard he was going to have a spar with people we normally don't spar with. It's to exploit each other's weaknesses and to improve our hand-to-hand combat as well as our coordination. You nodded along with what Izuku and Ochako were talking about, while internally panicking. How is this gonna work out? Who is Aizawa going to put you together with? You weren't sure if this was going to be a recipe for improvement or a recipe for disaster. Only one way to find out. Soon enough, everyone's on ground beta, where Aizawa was waiting along with All Might and Principal Nezu. Strange that the principal was here and not one of the other UA teachers. It took you long enough. He cleared his throat. Principal Nezu will be observing today's sparring lessons. The reason that you will be sparring with different partners is to get a feel of everyone's strengths and weaknesses, so that in case the League of Villains, or any villains for that case, was to attack, you all can still have each other's backs, regardless of what many may think sometimes. You have no choice but to work with other heroes, both on the field and off the field. That actually made perfect sense, especially since All Might's last fight was during the Camino Ward incident. All kinds of villains are taking advantage of the fact that the simple piece is no longer a hero. And plus, the League of Villains has an unhealthy obsession with Class 1A. All Might will be listing off your sparring partners. You weren't looking forward to this. You normally spar with Kirishima, Shoji, Izuku, and Otako. No one else. You were hoping to anyone who listened that you did not become Bakugo's sparring partner. That would be a recipe for disaster. Bakugo and Zero. Oh, thank God. It wasn't you. Listener and Todoroki, you two are next. Oh, that's not bad at all. This was just going to be fine. The two of you stand next to each other, waiting for Bakugo and Zero to finish, which thankfully didn't take too long courtesy of Bakugo. Don't go easy on me, love. You winked at Shoto, causing a light blush to cover his cheeks. I wouldn't dream of it. You both got into position, waiting for Aizawa to blow the whistle. The two of you jumped at the same time, exchanging blows back and forth, both on the offense and defense. This wasn't going to be short of a match, and you felt that the more determined and tired you got, the more out of control your quirk was getting. Please, not now. Please don't go crazy. Please. You were going through it in your mind as you yanked Shoto a little too harshly to the right, making him slam to a tree. You went to stop, but a splitting pain went through your head, making you stop and clutch at it in pain. No. Listener. It was Shoto, but you couldn't really focus on him. The voices in your head were getting too loud.
Villain.
Monster.
You'll never be a hero.
It was all getting too much, and the image of being strapped into a metal table was too much. Listener, please listen to my voice. It was Shoto. How could you listen when everything was blurring together? Listen to them. Listen to you. Listen. When you screamed, you had a faint red hue, causing everything and everyone to go flying backward. You lost control. You lost control. And you were going to be kicked out of school. They were right. Everyone was right. Listener. Your inner hate speech was stopped by a crushing force squeezing you. It was Shoto. He was hugging you as tightly and as close to him as possible. You did your best to focus on his smell, trying to get your bearings on your senses and your surroundings in order to bring your quirk back in control. After what felt like forever, you were finally calm, and Shoto was still holding your limp body close to you. I'm taking you to recovery, girl. You were too tired to argue. You could barely focus on what was happening around you. Shoto spoke to the teachers and rushed you to recovery, girl. You're going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. You tried your best to believe everything he was saying. Thank you. With that last thing you said, you allowed exhaustion to drag you into sleep. Oh my god, it's over. Finally. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, a few notes. Yes, I know that you might not understand some of it because you might not know who is Shoto and who is the narrator, which is kind of a pain. But my voice changes drastically over like the nighttime. But also, I am hungry. I haven't ate anything for like the past hours.
Oh, I forgot to do this apparently. Since my last recording just stopped out of nowhere, and then, okay, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to me read this fan fiction, and I hope you enjoyed it. And also, we have a suggestion box and a community tab. So if you'd like to suggest something for me to read, you can do that. Okay, bye.